Hi everyone. I said that I would do a little video on my feeding. So the birds are away at the minute. As you can see, nothing in here. So waiting for the cocks to come home. No, sorry, waiting for the hens to come home first. They should be about another 10 minutes yet. So, feeding. Swap the camera around. So this is what they get when they come back from any loft fly or any trainer. Now all this is conditioning seed made up of 50%, and then the other 50% is 3 equal parts of safflower, hemp and linseed. Put the hemp in it just to hozz it up a little bit. Seem to do well on it. They like coming in for it. So they get that every time they come back from a trainer or a loft fly. So then next we have molten barley. So there's the molten barley. I use molten barley simply because it's slightly higher in sugars than what recleaned barley is. What you're looking for is no long stalks on it and as plump as possible. So there's the barley. Then next we have Versalaga traditional super winner. It's 63% carbohydrates. Take you out the bin. 63% carbohydrates, and the barley is 73% carbohydrates, so it's a very high in carbohydrate mix. Now I'm different than a lot of people. I don't feed any protein other than what's in this. So when they come back from a race on a Saturday or a Sunday, whichever day that they race, their mixture is 90% barley and 10% super widowwood. Now that is for their first feed when they come back from a race. So it's very light, and on that feed they get honey and lemon. So squeeze a lemon, decent spoonful of honey, mix it together, pour it on their food, and that's their first feed when they come back from a trainer. Obviously fresh water, you want them to have a good drink to rehydrate themselves. Now in the evening they'll get a mixture then, so they'll go back to their normal 1/3 mixture. So I'll see if I got some here made up. So this is their 1/3 mixture. So this has already been mixed up. This is what they had last night. So it's 1/3 barley and 2/3 super winner. They'll get that on their evening feed when they come back from the race. And I feed it in small amounts so they eat all the barley. As soon as they start leaving the barley, they don't get fed anymore. Now I only feed once a day, so I feed in the evenings, so they'll go out for a loft fly or a trainer in the mornings on a, well, normally it's a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, but now we're up to 250 mile in this. They've had 250 mile races now. Now they're getting this food once in the evening, but I will start now decreasing some of the barley and increase the super widowwood. So up to 250 mile, it's 1/3 barley, 2/3 widowwood. They'll have that on a Sunday, a Monday, a Tuesday and a Wednesday. Then on Thursday I'll give them the mixture without the barley, so it's straight onto that. Now what I've done this year as well, I've added a little tiny bit of red maize and yellow crib maize from Van Roby's. So I add that towards the end of the week just to give them a bit more carbohydrates, and they seem to fly well on it. Now we're racing over 250 mile, so this week we're flying from Maidstone 280 mile. So they came back on Saturday to the 10% Super Widowwood and 90% Super Winner. Sorry, 10% Barley and 90% Super Winner with a honey and lemon on it. Evening feed, 1/3 Barley, 2/3 Super Winner. They had that again on Monday evening. Tuesday evening, they had 70% Super Winner and 30% Barley. So just slightly decrease the barley. Now, tonight, Wednesday night, they'll have 80% Super Winner and 20% Barley. Thursday night, they'll get all Super Winner with some extra red maize and yellow crib maize added to it. I always feed in small amounts, so here's my trusty baked bean can. Just a normal baked bean can, normal standard size baked bean can. Fill one of those up, and that baked bean can, leveled off, is roughly 10 ounces, which is a good guide to how much a pigeon needs per day. So 10 pigeons to 1 baked bean can. But I feed in small amounts, so if I've got 10 pigeons there, half a can. And then once they've ate all of that half a can, so they eat all of the barley and everything, then they get the other half of the can. If they've eaten all of it, including the barley, they will then get a little bit more, fed about 1/4 ounce per pigeon extra until they start leaving the barley. If there's any barley left whatsoever, they don't get any more. These are the two mixes of maize that I use. This one is yellow crib maize, made by Van Roby's. And this one is the Bordeaux maize, also made by Van Roby's. Now, for some reason, they prefer the yellow maize to the red maize, but I make them eat the red maize. So the way I feed it the red maize on a Thursday, which is the most important day for me if you're racing on a Saturday, is I'll mix up the yellow and the red maize together, and then that will be their first feed before they get any of the Super Winner. So I mix up the quantity that I'm going to put into them, which is roughly 10% of that, 5% of that. This is on a Thursday. And on a Wednesday, I'll put in 5% of that and 2% of that. So, but I always feed it first to make sure that they eat all the maize. This is just a little clip of the conveyor belts in one of the sections. I don't use them, the section's empty. But someone wanted to know how the conveyor belts work. So there's 4 Widowwood boxes, or 4 in a row. Conveyor belts goes through the middle. You can see up through there, they're standing on grids, so they're not standing on the conveyor belt. Droppings fall through, come through on the conveyor belt. A little scraper there scrapes them off. and it drops down into a bucket. So the conveyor belts were on rollers and they've got these little cogs on them. There's the motor geared down so it's quite slow. I'll turn it on in a second. Little tensioners to keep the belts tensioned, and that's basically all it is. It's a really easy design that someone could make. So here they are turned on. So it's geared down quite a lot in this little gearbox. Little tiny cog on the top. You can buy these rollers off of eBay or off the internet. You can buy the motors off the internet. They're only just a simple 240 volt motor. And I'm sure you can buy chain, cut it to length. So there it is. Very simple design. If you like the content of my videos, please like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. Just sign in, hit the subscribe button, and you'll get notifications of my videos when I post them.